Hello, everyone. It's your boy Jeff back after who knows how long, and we're in the spin zone again. Um, it seems that the COVID-19 crisis has had the opposite effect to me than it has to most people in the VC, because I know a lot of people have been really putting out a lot of quality content because of their state's various stay-at-home orders, I'm sure, if they're stuck at home. But for me, I haven't put out less material since this started than ever before. I yearn for the days when I would put out 3 or 4 videos a week. Just not the case. Work has been insane, to say the least. And some of you that I talk to on Facebook and stuff like that already know that story all too well. So I'm not going to complain or whine about it. It is what it is. But the effect of that, I have this hair in my eye. Ugh. But the effect of that has been, sadly, I haven't really had time to make any videos, and I've only been able to watch a very few. So I've been pretty absent from the VC, which just kind of makes me sad. But that hasn't stopped me from listening to records. And I've played like 16 of them since my last video. But I'm only going to do the first 10. So I'll already be 6 ahead for the next one, which hopefully will come sooner than later. Let's get right to it. First up, ZZ Top's Eliminator. This was VCLT from a while ago from my friend Hannah, the Omaha introvert. So I think this was a random pull. I started doing random pulls out of my crate. And if you follow me on Instagram, I usually play a clip of this, of whatever I'm spinning, assuming it doesn't get blocked. And I don't think this got blocked. But I know that this was a random pull from my crate. It was a very pleasant surprise. I grew up with this record. I mean, it's Eliminator. I mean, it's got basically all of their big hits on here. Legs, Give Me All Your Lovin', Sharp Dressed Man, of course. So yeah, this is something that I'm actually surprised I didn't have already in my collection. So thank you, Hannah, for sending this to me, however long ago it was. Things get lost in the crate, what can I tell you? Here's another one that Hannah sent me. So What by Joe Walsh. His album from 1973, I believe. I don't think this one had any radio hits on it, but I know I like this one quite a lot. Because, of course, I love Joe Walsh. Sorry for all the glare. I probably should have taken these out of their sleeves. I'll have to do that as I go along here. There we go. That's a little bit better, sort of. But I love Joe Walsh, both as a solo performer and when he was in the James Gang. He kind of gets lost in the Eagles, because it's the Eagles. But whenever he steps out on his own, Joe can put out a mean tune like nobody else. So this was also VCLT. From Hannah. So Hannah, if you're watching, thank you. The Doobie Brothers, The Captain and Me, was another one that came from the stack of records that I got back last fall, I think. I mean, I'm just starting now to work my way through. I guess one of the side benefits of this corona crisis and all of the overtime I've been working has been that I haven't gotten a new album in well over a month, which is kind of long for me. But it's also giving me the chance to work down the stuff that's in my crate. So that's kind of what I've been doing as we're going along here. And of course, The Captain and Me, classic Doobie Brothers. I mean, China Grove's on this one. Where are my glasses? Let's see. China Grove, South City Midnight Lady. That's a great one. Of course, Long Train Runnin'. Great, great stuff. And if you're a fan of classic rock, like I am, that seems to be part of my rep. This album went down just fine. And the copy itself looked pretty rough. I can't lie. I wasn't really expecting great things, but it ended up playing a lot better than I expected. So the sound on this copy was really quite good, even though the visually didn't look all that good. Then, one of the albums that I owned on CD for a very long time and finally got the vinyl reissue that just came out recently is The Rising by Bruce Springsteen. I think I actually found out about these from John at the Digital Gramophone, because he had this and he had Doubles and Dust, which I don't currently have but is on my list. I want to get that one too. The Rising is pretty much where I reconnected with Bruce. After Tunnel of Love, I kind of fell off the Bruce train. Didn't really pay attention to him very much in the 90s. I know he only put out a couple of records in the 90s. You know, he was taking long breaks, and, you know, he'd broken up the E Street Band by then, and he was just kind of, I guess, trying to live his life and do his own thing. But in the aftermath of 9/11, as the story goes, he was inspired, and he put together this album quickly for Bruce standards, reunited the E Street Band, and put this album out in 2002. Like I said, The Rising, the song itself, the title track, was where I kind of reconnected with Bruce again. Love that song. I think it's great. Heard it all over the radio. So I picked up the CD, which I still have, played it endlessly. And I think it's one of his best records, which says a lot, especially, you know, when you think of his output in the 70s and 80s. I think this stands tall with any of those albums, especially like the first, well, at least the first side of the record, probably the first 6 or 7 songs. And then, of course, John famously hates Let's Be Friends, this song right here. But I like it, so I kind of like to poke him a little bit whenever we talk about Bruce. And he gets mad at me, but that's okay. It's all in good fun. But anyway, this was kind of a one-off also for me, because after this album came out, I kind of lost my way with Bruce again. But I did pay a little more attention to him in the 2000s than I did in the 90s. And I'm kind of back on board the Bruce train again, so I'm probably going to end up going back and picking up a lot of the records that I skipped or just ignored when they came out in the 2000s, like after this one. But for my money, The Rising is one of Bruce's best records. I love this record. Then, a longtime resident of the crate finally made its way out. No fault of the record itself, is the Boomtown Rats, Tonic for the Troops. Still in the shrink because of this giant hype sticker, which I decided to keep. I don't know if you'll be able to read that there. And here's the back cover. The back cover is kind of sideways. Of course, Boomtown Rats being Bob Geldof. And this was a perfectly fine record. My wife liked Bob Geldof quite a lot. And when I pulled this, she was very excited when I played it. So I dig the Boomtown Rats. I have a couple of their records. So A Tonic for the Troops. Somebody showed this recently, I think, in one of their videos, didn't they? I seem to recall. Or maybe it was on Instagram. I seem to recall seeing this album pop up somewhere. But, yeah, I love A Tonic for the Troops. Then we get a little bit off onto the funk slash jazz side of things with Blackbird by Donald Byrd. This was a record that I found at the Goodwill for $2.95. Mint condition Blue Note. I'm pretty sure this is a reissue from the 80s. It's not an original pressing by any stretch. But it sounds great. It plays great. And it is great. This is actually the first album of Donald Byrd's that I came across. And I think I heard about this from, was it Bill? Did I come across this album from you first? You were talking about this or showed this? And it wasn't long after that I saw it at Goodwill when I went there. So I just grabbed it. And this came out in the 70s. And it's definitely got the funk mixed in with the jazz. So I dig it. I dug it quite a lot. If there's more albums like this that he put out, I want to know about it. So you guys who are more conversant with Donald Byrd than I am, please give me some direction, some pointers, because I really dug this record. And if you've done more like this, I want it. So quite enjoyed this one. This was a pleasant surprise. Blackbird by Donald Byrd. Then we go into Genius of Soul, Ray Charles' greatest hits. You can see there, without the glare, hopefully. The list of songs, of course. All of his big ones are here. Original ABC Paramount pressing. Another one that looked rough visually, but played through. So I was pretty relieved. And of course, I love Ray Charles. What else can I say? Great stuff. See, I haven't made videos in so long, so it's like I feel like I'm flexing muscles that I haven't used in a long time. It seems like I used to talk about these more than what I'm saying, other than they're really great, but just bear with me. Here's one that really doesn't need to be talked about. It just needs to be danced to. First album from Casey and the Sunshine Band. I defy anyone to sit still when this record is playing. That's the Way. I Like It is on here. Of course. Get Down Tonight. Boogie Shoes. You're going to want to put on your boogie shoes when you hear this record, right? Come on. Killer album. Whether you like disco or not, I don't think anyone can deny the danceability to this album. So even when I posted a clip of this on my Facebook group and I just said, everybody dance. And everybody did. How can you resist? Casey and the Sunshine Band. And what a great sounding record, too. I loved it. Okay, we got two more. This was another one from the stack of records, the free records I keep mentioning. I only kept it because of one song, but it turns out the rest of the album wasn't all that bad. It's a band called Ambrosia, and this is their album Life Beyond LA. And the song that I kept it for was How Much I Feel, which was a radio hit for them, and I grew up listening to it on WFYR when I was a little kid and I had no control of the radio. So my mom always had, it was like an adult contemporary station. It was WFYR Fire. That's what I always remember about that. And this was in heavy rotation, the song How Much I Feel. So that's really the only reason why I kept this. Kept it for one song, but after listening to the whole thing, it wasn't bad. It's yacht rock, what can I say? But it's good yacht rock. The only way it could be better is if Michael McDonald was singing it. Right? But, can't have everything. But still, Ambrosia had a couple of hits there in the late 70s. So, I dug it. And last but not least for this round, found this one in an estate sale last year. Ike and Tina Turner, Working Together. And of course, this is the one that has their famous cover of Proud Mary on it. And they also cover Get Back on this one. They also cover Let It Be, and it's not a straight cover. Tina kind of rewrote the lyrics, or somebody rewrote the lyrics to it and made a whole new song out of it, but it's kept the refrain Let It Be. So I'm a fan of this record. I mean, beyond Proud Mary, which is a stone cold classic hit of theirs, the rest of this record is really, really good. You know, falling into that late 60s, not funk, but like R&B driven rock. You know, it's on the Liberty record label. The copy, once again, played great, and I really dug this music. This was when Tina Turner was more of a belter than a singer. She just puts the material across like nobody else. And, yeah, she's the star of the show, no doubt. Love this record. Working Together by Ike and Tina. And there you have it. That's the first 10 that I've been playing over the last probably month or so. And with any luck, I'll be back sooner than later with another 10, because I already have 6 in the can. So I'm not going to make any promises. I know I always say I'm going to try to do more videos and be back sooner than later. I just can't, because I'm starting another monthly rotation of shifts. I'm still on release schedule. I'm not working quite the insane hours as I did last month, but it's plenty of time to keep me away from you guys. So, gonna do my best, gonna try my hardest to get back here soon. And for stuff besides spin zones, I mean, there's threads that I want to get into. There's contests that I'm missing. I feel bad. There's shout outs I want to give. You know, Emma shouted me out in her video, her 1 year anniversary in the VC, which is a great video. Highly recommend it. David Newton also gave me a shout out in his video. Sean at Sean's Vinyl Corner. I love all you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been around. I'm going to try my hardest to be around more. So, because I miss you. And during this time, you know, we all got to stick together more. So, just going to try. That's all I can do. And until then, for anyone who's still watching me, thank you for making it this far. I love you all. And peace. So till then, I'll see you.